There is a buzzword brewing in the beauty cream world. You can't miss it, but do you need it? The word hydration is being marketed as the new it term. Skincare lines like Neutrogena, Clinique, e.l.f., and Rodan & Fields are jumping on board, offering creams that claim to not only moisturize, but hydrate. So is this a step to add to your skincare routine? We're turning to Dermatologist Dr. Brian Williams for advice. It's so great to see you.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. I feel like I need this. Can I just read you the label on one of these products?
Yes.
This is by Clinique. Moisture Surge Hydrating Supercharged Concentrate. I read that and I think I absolutely need and want that on my face.
Clinique has done exactly what they wanted to do. They advertised, they hooked you, they reeled you in, they did a great job.
I'm a sucker.
Not that it's a bad product, it's a great product, but is it worth the money you're going to spend on it? Hydration and moisturization are essentially the same thing, and it is important, especially living here in Utah, in the mountains, where it's dry in the winter. It's not as dry in the summer, but it's really dry in the winter. Getting on some sort of moisturizer is great. Now, if you like the products, use them, love them, but remember, some of the things they're talking about are advertising terms that they're just trying to get you in with. Moisturization is important. So if we talk about moisturizers that may be a little bit more in people's price range, we look at the CeraVe and the Cetaphil products.
Okay.
They don't tend to have fragrances, they don't tend to have dyes, they tend to get fewer reactions with things, and they're far more in people's price points. Now, if you put on moisturizers when your skin is wet, like right after you've washed your face or right after you're coming out of the shower, you're gonna get a lot of that boost or surge that you're looking for.
I've heard that. Is that true, that the water extra absorbs the product?
What happens is you're trapping in the water. And that's the key. With moisturizing, you want to trap in the water. That kind of helps with some of the fine lines, the wrinkles. It kind of helps with the dryness because you've trapped in that moisture that you had just as you came out of the shower, you just washed your face.
But before we move past the hydration, because apparently I fell for this hook, line, and sinker.
It's great.
There's serums.
It's a fine product.
I know. There's serums,
product.
though, and they almost feel different on my skin.
The serums are interesting because they come in, they all have some different active ingredients. So those we could probably take at another time, but they come with all different bells and whistles. So it's kind of hard to compare them to moisturizers and the hydration.
Gotcha. But bottom line, I don't need a hydrator and a moisturizer. I can do with just one.
You probably just get away. And creams are better than lotions for Utah. If you're going to live in Florida or Hawaii, you can often get away with lotions. But in Utah, you probably want to err more towards the creams. And less on the face, sometimes you get away with lotions on the face.
And just to redeem myself, this also is in my beauty bag.
Oh, good.
So see,
good.
I'm not a total
Fantastic.
fool. Okay, with that thought in mind, the over-the-counter drugstore products, we always love to tap into your expertise and see what products really can work that will be helpful to our bottom line and our budget. With acne, is there an over-the-counter product we can feel good about using?
Let's talk about acne for a second. So sometimes your kid gets into that mild acne, or you even have the mild stuff, and you're like, I don't really want to go to the doctor for this. What can I use over the counter? And of course, there's advertising. Proactive will send you stuff every month or whatever. But essentially, there's only 3 active ingredients you can get over the counter. Up until this year, there was only 2, and it was benzoyl peroxides and salicylic acid. Benzoyl peroxides have pretty much been the workhorse of acne for years.
And what does that do?
Benzoyl peroxides, what they'll do is they'll pretty much take care of the inflammatory lesions, and they kill off some of the bugs that create acne or cause acne or make it worse. Now, it comes in 2 forms. They have a wash that's just good for chest and backs, and they have the leave-on product. The biggest problem with benzoyl peroxide is they'll bleach fabrics. So if you're not careful with it, you can bleach fabrics, towels, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Now, recently, in this last year, the different has come out. Different 0.1% gels come out. We've been talking for a long time on the show about retinoids. This is the first over-the-counter retinoid, and it works very well for acne.
Okay.
Now, because it's a retinoid, you want to use it like kind of a pea-sized amount over the entire face every other night for about 2 to 3, maybe even a month before bumping it up to every night. But used in conjunction with benzoyl peroxides can be very effective for mild acne.
Would you call this an exciting breakthrough that we now can get a retinoid over the counter?
It's exciting to be able to get a retinoid over the counter. It's the first new active ingredient that we've gotten for acne over the counter in years. And so it's in the acne section. But remember, this is the same retinoid we've talked about in the past, being good for fine lines and wrinkles and aging. And so before, it was available only by prescription and very expensive. The price, since it's now an OTC or an over-the-counter product, prices come way down. But this is one you kind of want to use over your entire face, almost as like a maintenance regimen for your acne.
If you are trying to tackle the acne problem, what sort of system should be using, or combination of these products should we be using?
So what I would do is, if it's just mainly on your face, I'd do the different as a base at night before you go to bed, and then put the benzoyl peroxide gel right on top of it in your problem areas. So I'd put the different on as kind of your base, and then put the benzoyl peroxide gel more of a spot treater just in the areas that you're having the
layering, but again, you have to build up to that.
Yes, because this will cause some redness and irritation early on. So if you do it every other night for maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks before going up to every night, you'll get through that kind of drying stage.
At what point, Brian, do I say this isn't working for me, so I come to you and I get a prescription?
That, you know, if you tried this for a month or two and you weren't seeing the results you wanted to, it's probably time to see a professional. It's probably time to see a doctor for that.
Rashes pop up, especially during the summer season. I feel like when we're sweating a little more, it's hot outside. What products can we reach for?
So there's a couple things. So there's, you know, rashes are a broad thing, but you know, if you got a kid that you're worried about athlete's foot or ringworm or something like that, this Lamisil cream, it's available over the counter. I'd try that first. Use it twice a day for 2-3 weeks. If you haven't seen results in 2 to 3 weeks, then it's probably time to go see your doctor. But if you've got a spot on the leg and you think, I think that's ringworm, I don't really want to go and see the doctor for that, this would be a good place to start. Twice a day for up to 3 weeks, and it should be gone by then if it's going to respond.
We can't talk about ringworm too long or I'll start itching. So move on to the next, would you?
This will make you itch more too.
Okay.
So in the summertime, places where people who have skin touching skin, they tend to get these itchy rashes.
Yeah.
Can be in folds and stuff like that. Oftentimes, little yeast will be growing in there too, but this over-the-counter powder, and it's usually under $10. This Esorb should be under $10. And it's a powder you can put on once a day right when you get out of the shower. You do that for a week or two, and you should get some of those rashes under control. Anywhere
on your body, not just on your feet?
It's mainly where the skin touches the skin.
Okay.
And this is probably better for athletes, but although this can also be used for athletes' foot.
Okay, I see one more hiding down there. What's that?
Well, this is a fun one. I'm sure a lot of people have.
Fun one.
It's a fun one
Says
because
the dermatologist.
Because this is like in all sorts of places. You'll find it like in, you know, sporting goods stores and hardware stores, and the reason is because it's been really good for dry hands.
Oh.
In Utah. Hands get cracked, whether you're washing them too much, whether you're working with your hands, and you just need a hand cream to keep your hands from fissuring and cracking.
Right.
Putting this on at night before you go to bed and doing it pretty consistently, I've seen a lot of people get their hand problems under control using this product.
All right, thank you for answering our questions, meeting our needs, squashing our hydration dreams.
It's a great product.
But doing it in our budget. We appreciate that. If people want to set up an appointment, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, my phone number is 801-313-1010 or brianwilliamsdermatology.com.
Okay, great to see you. Thanks for letting me give you a hard time. I appreciate it.